Mental health is one of the biggest challenges I've ever had in my life.
What do people impacted by mental illness look like? Like all of us.
Hi, my name is Andi. I'm from Barbados. I live in Winnipeg. I am a policy analyst for the province of Manitoba, and today I'm going to talk about dealing with addiction. My story begins when I was 19. My dad passed away. He had diabetes, and he died from complications of diabetes. And when you're 19, you don't have the suite of tools or coping mechanisms that you need to deal with trauma like that. I was very close to my father. And so it's spun me out pretty hard. And when you don't have the things, the resources that you need to deal with that kind of trauma, you fall back onto really negative patterns of behavior, very self-destructive behavior. And so alcohol and cocaine and lots of that. And numbing the pain and trying to run from that trauma. So that's where the story starts. And then it's about 5 years of cocaine, and it got really bad. First it was only recreational, weekends, partying, that kind of thing. But the problem is that it never just ends there. The problem is that your usage, your issues never go away, and so you're always trying to mask something else, something different. And in that whole journey, you start to hate yourself. You really lose your sense of self, and what you get instead is self-loathing. And so it perpetuates in this cycle. And so after a few years of just recreational use, it became daily use, and at work even. It got to the point where I lost 2 jobs and I got kicked out of university because I stopped showing up to my own life. I skipped classes, I skipped work shifts. Nothing really mattered except chasing that next high, right? So 5 years of that, and finally I was able to get to a place in my life, even after losing the 2 jobs, even after getting kicked out of university, I never thought I had a problem, which is so surreal. How do you hit rock bottom like that and think that everything's okay? But we rationalize things in an incredible way. Human beings have an incredible ability to rationalize the most irrational circumstances. But 5 years in, I realized that I could no longer carry on this way. And you just got to find the strength to change your life. For the people out there who are afraid to reach out, there are 3 things that you need to know. That you are worthy. You, as a human being, you have worth, and that all the work that you're going to do is worth your time and effort. The second thing is that you have to put yourself first. And along the way, it's going to be really hard to do that. You haven't done it before, but when you start putting yourself first, you can start that growth that you're capable of. And it all begins with a small conversation. Small conversations will be transformative. That first conversation you tell your mom that you're struggling. Maybe I won't talk about my mom. I'll just cry again.
Just a second.
One of the most difficult things I ever had to do was have that conversation with my mom. This is the woman that gave me life and wants the best for me. And it should have been the easiest conversation because she's got me no matter what. But I wanted to protect her. There's a lot of shame and regret around addiction, and you don't want them to feel like a failure while you're managing your own feelings of failure. And so it's a tough balancing act, but once you get over that initial fear of the way that they're going to react, and beyond the fear is just love. It's incredible love, and that will help you through. The process of changing my life around, I needed a lot of external help in the beginning. I didn't have the strength within me. I didn't even, have the coping mechanisms or tools that I needed. And so I relied heavily on things like counseling. My husband at the time, people in my life telling me that I have worth. Sorry. When you struggle with addiction, because of the stigma, you can't reach out and tell the people in your life what's going on, especially your family, but of course your work and your friends. You know, there's a lot of struggling in silence. And so to be able to share this story and speak my truth fearlessly out loud for others to not go through that same thing is a remarkable moment for me. One of the proudest moments of my life and my journey to recovery was when I could seek that strength within me. So now I turn to myself, and that's very liberating when you have that inner strength, that sense of self to really get you through those tough days. That was a big turning point for me. I feel like that was the moment that I knew I would never again go down those dark roads.
Mental health affects us all. Join the conversation.
Oh, thank you.
You're good.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Okay, I'll believe you.